event is actually outlined in his birth chart, and I'm going to show it to you right now. It's good to know that we are at the heels of a Mars-Uranus conjunction. Here's the tea though. Ethical and responsible astrologers tread very softly when it comes to talking about transits that have to do with Uranus and Mars. As, yeah, they can mean some serious stuff, but it doesn't happen all the time. Uranus is such a hit or miss planet. And we've had years before where astrologers were so sure that something was going to happen, but nothing ever did. And so we're on the lines of fear-mongering or stating what we feel or see intuitively and through the birth charts. Nevertheless, here we are today with a significant historical moment that has taken place, and I'm going to walk you through what that looks like astrologically. We're going to start off with the conversations that Mars and Uranus are doing with each other. So they are getting closer and closer. On July 15th, they're going to be exact. If there was a prediction on when something was going to happen, an astrologer would have said July 15th, but I always like to say that you cannot time the universe to any one single day. And when you do have a prediction, you got to give or take a week or so. Now, Mars is the planet of war. We know this, right? And he really represents impulsive action. And this action comes from an overstimulated will. We have a desire to express and just do something. And so Mars is the planet to help us take action on that. Uranus has no fucking rules, and nor do I try to pretend like I know his rules. Uranus is meant to be the wrench and the thing you never expected. That is why I say together, these two are so dangerous. It is a recipe for something to happen. I am going to stay neutral in my verbiage in this video because I do know that these get very censored. This transit standing alone is kind of like a little bit of a warning sign. Let's keep a close eye. This is where astrocartography would be good to see what areas in the land this would affect the most. However, when you put that transit against this specific chart that is of a president, okay, you get a completely different story. So this transit is taking place on Donnie's 10th house, which is, of course, his career house. He was at work while this took place. It's also very close to his midheaven, which is a public event. People are going to see it. So if something were to have happened, which we obviously know that something did, the whole world's going to know about it. It's going to be known. Now, the craziest thing is that this conjunction is completely squaring Donnie's Mars, and that's the red outlinings that you could see. That Mars and Uranus conjunction completely squared Donnie's Mars in Leo, which caused that friction, of course, that we're seeing. What I think is crazy is that Mars is in the ear of the birth chart, and I'll talk more about that in another video, but it's like right behind his ascendant. So Mars is a karmic planet for Donnie, and it also implies that he's been in this situation before. This is almost like a karmic event. It's my belief that with Pluto and Mars in the 12th house, this is something that Donnie has possibly died for in the past in his soul's experience, and this is a restorative experience. This is the way I see it. I know we're super new into this story. It happened just minutes ago, but when we also have so much more to find out. But as of right now, we're looking at a hidden enemy. We're looking at possibly something that he didn't account for. I'm honestly looking at this event as a restorative healing experience. I know you guys are not going to expect this from this video, but when things like this happen and a person survives and experiences love on the other side, or support, or actually genuine care, it's actually a karmic restorative experience where the individual or the soul has to go through that traumatic moment to then experience a different and more positive outcome. From the way I see it, this is more positive than anything because he did not lose himself to this moment, and it was kind of minor, just his ear, and he survived, giving us this historic photo. Honestly, this is going to be known and seen around the world for years to come. Honestly, I wonder if he's working with an astrologer because, it's very basic math. We could see it in his chart. We could see that there would have been an offense get too close to home. And would he have been advised to stay home? Or maybe just be prepared. As someone who reads for millionaires around the world, I understand the dilemma or the place where an astrologer is because we don't want to say something so bad that's going to happen for sure and stop a person from living their life, but then we also want to listen to what their stars are saying. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Donnie's astrologer was like, just arm up this day. You really need to arm up, but you still got to do what you got to do, but you can just have extra security or something. I feel like that's something that I would have said. Like, hey, this is a red flag week. Maybe you could take this week to do virtual stuff or make sure that you're in a safe space with people that you trust. So maybe not like a public rally. Or That's what I would have said, honestly. I would have said, wait this week out. This ain't the week for you to be out there doing all this stuff. Again, though, for us, it's tough because like the client has goals and the client wants to do big milestones, and it's not always for people to stop living their lives just because of a potential event that happens in their astrology. Because at the end of the day, life is half fated. I always say that life is 50% destiny and 50% free will, what you make of it. And so you can play your fun games and the excitement of the wheel in a certain playground. So when it comes to I'm just giving you my raw thoughts on an astrologer's mind. Like, what would I have said to Donnie? And honestly, I would have said, lay low this 1 week. Like, actually don't go out, lay low. But if you do have to do something, virtual it, man. It's 2024. More news is coming in as I speak, and it is confirmed that the person who did this is no longer here on Earth. They went bye-bye, and they are saying that they are a part of an organization that is known to cause a little bit of havoc when it comes to these things. It starts with an A and ends with an A. Anyways, guys, this is the first moment of a lot more to come. The political weather is going to get hot, especially in the month of September and October. So we all Americans especially have to just keep it cool, keep it tight, and make sure that we are safe in our hearts and that our hearts are carrying so much love, because there's a reason that we are all here in this moment, in this same time, in space, in reality, and we have to honor that. But what are your guys' thoughts? This is honestly just part one of more that's to come, but I really want to hear what you have to think. Presidential candidates for 2024. We are going to be looking at Donald Trump's birth chart and Joe Biden's birth chart as